So let's go ahead and look at present subjunctive 2 in German. This can be sometimes a little bit tricky, but it's really important. And most importantly, I should say, is because it offers us the opportunity to be polite. And no matter whatever language you're learning, you're going to want to do that. One of the other things that's pretty good for human nature is, of course, we wish for things, right? And present subjunctive can help us with that. So, it allows us to request things politely, make suggestions. We'll look at, in kind of in a little bit a sense of like what is a wish. For us, for all intents and purposes, in English, it's the would. Like, would you happen to have any Grey Poupon or something? So, being polite is always really nice. And we're going to examine this in 3 different ways. We're going to check out would have or would happen to have, would be. Of course, also being polite, we always want to make sure we include the word please, so bitte. And then the form where we have to have 2 parts to our verb. So very similar to a helping verb construct where we would use würde plus the infinitive of the verb. Hätte and wäre already include the would and the other part of the verb. So, how do we get these verbs? Würde comes from werden. Hätte comes from haben, and wäre comes from sein. If you look at these closely, you would have already seen the past tense of werden. What happens is an umlaut's added. You would have seen the past tense of haben, hatte, and an umlaut's added. And you would have seen the past tense of sein, war. Of course, an umlaut's added, and we tack on this E. So these are things that we've already, in a sense, seen in some way, shape, or form, and now we can examine a little bit further. So let's go ahead and conjugate these out. It's very simple, kind of to the narrative past forms. So for würden, like would something, we of course are going to use base. So würde. Base, st, base. So the base is würde. Ich würde, du würdest, sie würde. En, of course not doubling the e's there. T, würdet, würden. So we're following the base, st base, ent, en. Oops. Ent, e. My bad. Ent, en format. So it's very similar to the narrative past tense. So würden. The next thing you should write down now would be the past tense. So would have. Wäre would be. So here we have our base. Wäre. St. Du wärest. Sorry, these are A's. Not the best here. With my penmanship. Yes, wäre. Wir wären. Ihr wäret. Sie wären. And finally, hätte. Ich hätte. Du hättest. Sie es hätte. Wir hätten. Ihr hättet. Sie hätten. So how could these show up in practice. So let's look at some examples that we could use. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Let's use hätten. Let me think. Okay, so not the best writing here. Oops, Entschuldigung. Hättest du die Hausaufgaben? Would you have the homework? Would you happen to have the homework? So being polite and nice about it. I feel like I'm writing all questions here. Let's throw in that extra politeness, please. Wärst du bitte... This is silly, but that's okay. Would you please be nicer? Yeah. Would be you bit please nicer. Would you please be nicer? And sure, why not? Here we go. Würdest du bitte mehr singen? Would you please sing more? Because I guess, singing is pretty cool. And they just want to make sure you'd go ahead and sing some more. So, würdest du bitte mehr singen? So, what I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and create 3 of your own sentences. 1 where you use wäre, 2 where you use hätte, and 3 where you use würde plus an infinitive. So try to see if you can come up with your own polite request statements. Viel Glück, viel Spaß.